I'll read it.
Okay. Done.
Sunday nights, black and silver dreams. Hope ran dry quicker than it seemed. Same old talk, same excuses. Another year of Raider blues. Vegas lights don't hide the scars. Fourth down prayers, broken hearts. We rode hard, we paid the price. Buried hope by week 9. Put it in the dirt, let the whistle blow. Another Raider year laid 6 feet low. We drank the Kool-Aid, paid our dues. Rock bottom blues and black and shoes. Yeah, we scream, yeah, we stay, yeah, we lose. Raider Nation never quits on you. Watch from banners high while Sundays teach us how to sigh. Laugh through pain, curse the screen. Love this team like a bad routine. Put it in the dirt, let the whistle blow. Another Raider year laid 6 feet low. We drank the Kool-Aid, paid our dues. Rock bottom blues and black and shoes.
What's going on, Raider Nation? Welcome for joining us tonight at the conclusion of this season. The season is over. There's no more previews, no more next week, no more excuses. What's left is what always remain. The season tested our patience. It tested our belief, and for some, it tested loyalty. We watched wins slip away. We watched effort come and go. We watched moments where this team looked ready, but not really. And moments where it didn't look close at all. But Raider Nation never disappeared. We always stayed true. Tonight isn't about pretending this season was something it wasn't. It's about accountability from here on out. It's about who showed up when it got ugly and who should still be wearing that shield when we line up again next year. This is the Show Me Your Shield show, special episode. Because everyone deserves it, but some earned it. Let's talk about it. But before we get going, I'd like to introduce my co-host from Show Me the Shield, Mr. Duncan Donuts. Or Donuts Duncan, excuse me. Fuck, I can't say it. Donuts Duncan. It's because the guy below us is always drinking Dunkin' Donuts. But Donuts Duncan, my co-host, got anything for us there, Duncan, as we get going?
No. Raiders secured that first overall pick, or rather the Giants did for us.
Yep.
And we got that win over the Chiefs, and we are undefeated in 2026. So,
yes.
And the ownership seems to be in meetings already about what to do for this next season, so we may hear news on Pete Carroll staying or going sooner rather than later. So bunch of stuff to listen for.
Yep. So we'll be obviously there's going to be a lot of content creators rolling out stuff. It's going to be a lot of news, a lot of dink. Adam Schefter, Tom Pelissero, blah blah blah. It's all going to be a
You almost said Tom Telesco.
I almost said Tom Telesco. Yeah, I think. Oh, by the way, we have a special guest tonight on our shield here. The boss from 401_Raiders_Jeff Productions Incorporated, Mr. Jeff himself.
Hello. Just a shout out to both of you today for being on the show with me earlier during the watch party that we threw. So I appreciate you both spending your day with me on there. That was fun.
It was fun. It was fun. I'm hoping everybody else enjoyed it too that was in the chat and whatnot. So let's get started. It's over, guys.
Thank God.
And I think the future is so bright. I'm wearing my shades tonight.
80s reference for you kids. Children that don't know the song.
I wear my sunglasses at night. Oh, wait.
Well, that's one of
Will
them.
I get copyrighted for doing that?
No, your voice is too terrible.
Yeah,
thank you.
Trust me, they don't
Thank
want to monetize that. No, they're good.
Now you know why they want me to host the show.
Yeah.
These two right here.
I'm just here so I don't get fined by the HR department.
Well, that's all right.
Well, in
So-
the chat, we already got Robert Pena saying hi to Downs and our skipper. We got
Salute, Robert Pena. Salute.
Jack,
What's up, Jack?
Kenneth M7C.
What's up, Kenneth?
Yeah. Shout out, Kenneth. Thanks for coming in, man.
Michelangelo Federici.
What's up, brother? It's actually he's a local guy. I know personally. He's a good dude. Good dude. He's a Pats fan, but that's all right. We'll forgive him for that.
That's all right. Long as he's good with us.
Dave Solsona.
And Dave, that's the guy that does that did my video for the Friday night show. He's actually one of my chapter members for the Black Hole up in
That
Mass.
video is awesome.
Dave,
What's
I'm
up,
glad
Dave?
you put up with them like we do. Thank you so much.
Great work.
Yeah.
Got Bill M5518.
What's up, Bill?
Yeah.
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 Falcons
do.
already cleaned house.
Yep.
Yeah, GM going too. Yep.
No.
They didn't waste no time.
Yep.
And
And
Nick Double D.
What's up, Nick?
Nick, hey, you know what? I think Nick, I don't think he's ever been around when we done it. But whenever you do that and you spell it out correctly, we go.
Raiders.
Thank you, brother. So
Accelerator.
anyways,
Bob.
accelerators come in here and helped us out. Thank you, accelerator. So as we get going, we get cooking on this episode, gentlemen. You want to talk about the game? Because really, in all honesty, the game in and of itself wasn't all that entertaining. But there were some bright spots in it. And I'll let Duncan kind of dive into the game, start out with the game a little bit. Kind of give us an overall wrap on just the game itself that we had today.
Just real quick, my phone just vibrated. I look, it's ESPN sending me this.
And I
NFL draft 125 Raiders on the clock, baby.
Yeah, my
Game over.
Instagram blew that up already.
well, as far as the game goes, it was a snooze fest. It was just a preseason game.
Yeah.
It was a lot of mix of starters, second string, third string guys, practice squad guys, all getting some reps in. Overall, the game didn't really mean much with the Giants winning because that secured us the first overall pick. There was in contention us getting the first pick in every round for the draft if we lost, but I mean, it's up to you to say F the Chiefs or take those picks. There's no wrong answer there. As far as player bright sides, Rodgers had another pretty decent game. Porter, every time I saw him on the field, he was in the receiver's pocket. I don't even know if Porter got targeted.
Yeah, he did.
He did? Okay.
Yeah.
I must have missed it, but every time I saw Porter, he was just right there, and it seemed like they weren't testing him.
Yeah.
And he was playing a lot of man every time I saw him.
Yeah.
So
There was a few out routes he got tested on. That was bad throws, but still they weren't like, it wasn't like they were totally afraid to go away from him. But go ahead, continue.
yeah. Paul Amau, did we hear his injury to To me, it looked like it was a dislocated shoulder, but it could have been a broken collarbone. It was.
That's
in
what
that
I thought it
area.
was. Collarbone,
Yeah.
because he was grabbing up here, and his arm was limp.
Yeah, but that could also be hold shoulder.
Yeah, but if you look at the kind of the way how his neck kind of crumbled underneath him, to me it looked like a collarbone. It's most common in that type of when he lands like that with body weight on him, but it could be a shoulder.
Yeah,
We're not. I'm not doing the X-rays, so
he'll have the whole off season to recover. So he should be okay by the time preseason rolls around. And I mean, elephant in the room, we secured that first overall pick again. So, like Jeff pointed out, we're on the clock. And as I said earlier, the Raiders front office and the ownership is already meeting, and they're really figuring out what direction they want to take this team for next year. Mm-hmm. What we want to do in the draft and everything. Is Pete Carroll the answer? I say no. And then if he's not the answer, who are we going to target as a head coach? Obviously, they're going to bring in a bunch of guys to interview him and talk to him, because you don't just say, I like that guy and try to hire him right off the get-go. They want to hear how the guy actually sounds when they talk to him.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of different options. Offensively, surprise, surprise, what we all knew, Aiden O'Connell is the best quarterback on our roster. And that's not saying much. Our quarterback room is terrible. So it doesn't really say much that Aiden O'Connell is the best, other than we have a poor room.
No. I just looked up Palomar. They're saying it's shoulder, and he's listed it. Well, obviously he's listed as questionable, but it's a shoulder. That's all they're saying.
Yeah. Okay. Offensively, Grant got some decent playing time. Mm-hmm. He was hit or miss for me. It seemed quite a few times. He just stands up too tall. Needs to work on his leverage, stay down. But one good thing that I saw every single play he was in, his feet did not stop. So that's encouraging. If he can learn how to get low, stay low, and keep using leverage, he's going to be a pretty good tackle. And another thing with Grant is he did not get outsped like Glaze did on the right side.
Mm-hmm. Glaze was getting wrecked today.
Grant definitely showed some of his athleticism.
Yeah.
Myers, another solid showing he's a very good tight end when Bowers isn't there.
It's upset.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. There's not really too much to talk about. It was a snooze fest. Like, there's not really many highlights. Our linebacker, was it
Marcus
Lindeberg?
What's up, Perry?
Yep.
Lindeberg got playing time, and he played pretty well. Yeah. I didn't really see him get beat too often, and his name wasn't really mentioned, but sometimes that's a good thing. That just means you're having a quiet, good game.
Yeah.
So
Jeff, real quick, before you dive into the Chiefs game.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna throw a name at you, and you need to run with it. Daniel Carlson, go.
It didn't miss. That's a good thing. I mean, we know he's probably not coming back next year. We didn't extend him when we had the chance. I think if anything, maybe this was a good chance for him to show out a little bit. Maybe a team that's been hurting for kickers. I haven't had good luck with kickers. They may take a chance on him. But I don't think he's coming back. It was great that he didn't miss any today. I mean, we won because of him. Would have rather gotten a touchdown. Would have rather it been Genty on a nice 25-yard run to end the game, break that 1,000 yards. But, Carlson did what we asked him to do. And, of course, the one kick he doesn't miss is a 60-yarder, one of his longest of his career. And he nailed it like it was a 5-yard kick. But, good for him. He finished out on a strong note. He had a rough year, real rough year. So, we know he's probably not coming back next year. Be surprised. Again, it depends on who the coach is, too. They may still see enough in him to keep him around again. Who knows? But he's a free agent for sure. So, one way or another, we either going to re-sign him or he's gone. So, What's up, Barry?
Yeah, so you guys kind of hit some of the key points that I was seeing in the game in and of itself. There were some things to like. There were. And then there was a lot of stuff that was just like, this is a preseason game at best. And I'll cover that later when we get into the show of what my take is on how the NFL has basically spread the mayonnaise on the bread too thin with 17 games. But hey, let's get into some of the chat here. Perry has a good question. We got to consider Crosby. No guaranteed money in 27. If Raiders not winning, he wants out. I hate it, but you get what you can now. If you wait, you could lose him with nothing in return. Which is, Jeff has been beating the table on that pretty hard. I'm not opposed to it because I'm at the point now that just having a top tier defensive end isn't going to give us, it's not helping us by just having that. And if we can actually parlay that into a couple picks, and of course, when you do that, you're going from a known to an unknown, right?
Right.
You have a known star, but you're giving up a known star to try and get something that is unknown. But if you get 2 picks and you hit on one that can equal about what Crosby gives us, then we win that trade. Duncan, anything from you on that?
I mean, obviously, I'm willing to move on from him, but it's mainly up to him and how the relationship is with the front office right now. If he wants to stay, let him stay. I'm okay with that. If he wants to leave, okay, we got to figure out what's our best trade partner. Because for me, I want to get 2 first-round picks for him, but if we're trading with a team with an earlier first-round pick, we're not going to get 2 for him. If it was realistically somebody like Dallas where we could get the first-round pick from Green Bay that they have, and then first-round pick from next year, that would be interesting for me. Or if we traded with somebody like the Browns, or somebody else who has an earlier first-round pick, maybe we get their first-round pick and then a second-round pick for next year. I mean, there's a bunch of different routes. Bears are another interesting one. They're overall a young team. They have some cap space available. Adding max to their defense would be good because their offense is cruising mostly. There's a bunch of different teams that are definitely going to be interested in a guy like Max Crosby because he does do a lot of great work that doesn't show up as a sack, but he gets a lot of tackles in the backfield. He really does well at shutting down the run game on his side usually. And he tries to play every single down, whether that's good or bad for him because these past 2 seasons he's been hurt a lot, but that's just the player he is. Everybody knows what they're getting with him.
Jeff?
I mean, you and everybody that follows me, you guys know my take on the whole Max thing. We blew it before the draft last year. We could have unloaded him last year and really helped this team. How much would it have helped us this year with the current regime that we have in power? Who knows? So maybe it is best that we didn't do it this year, and we definitely do it now going forward with a new head coach hopefully coming in. We'll hopefully into the next 24, 48 hours, we'll know what's going on with that. It like you said, Jason, you know, he's a great player and everything, but how much is he helping us get to that next level with this organization? You know, he's been here, 7 years now, 9 years. It's just not. Everybody always compares him to Garrett. You can't compare him. He's not even in the top. In all honesty, I don't even think he's in the top 4 or 5 of defensive ends in this league. Seriously, he's good. Don't get me wrong. He's the best player we've got on our team on the defense. You know, he's the face of the franchise. Everybody loves him. But he's no Myles Garrett. He's no T.J. Watt. You know, he's no Micah Parsons. I mean, there's some great defensive ends out there that play completely different than him. You know? So, I mean, I agree. If we're going to trade him away, let's do it this offseason. Let's get the picks for him because God knows we've got a lot of holes to fill. We got 20-something free agents again this year that we got decisions to make. We had no depth this year at all. We had no depth last year. We can't keep repeating that either with no depth. So we've got a lot of positions we need to fill. So we need to build that. So don't expect us to, with a new coach and a rookie quarterback, if that's the direction, to come out of this next year and win a shit ton of games. It's going to take some time, and people have to be patient. And if trading Max away is one of those first steps into doing that, rip the Band-Aid off, folks. I'm sorry, but if it helps the team going forward for the future, that's the way you got to go. Sorry.
If I'm the general manager going into right before free agency starts, when the new league year starts, he is not for sale.
He's not for sale?
Not for sale. And I'll tell you why. Because if you offer him for sale, you're going to get less than what you probably could if you say he's not for sale.
No,
in other words,
if
let the bidding start high, not start low.
Yep. Let him come to you.
Yep.
Well, I'm all for it.
Well, another thing
That's the only difference I think I have.
Another thing is Max a piece that a new head coach wants to have on his team. Because that could be another determining factor on who comes in as willing to coach our team. If the plan is already guaranteed we're trading Max without that head coach's opinion, they're not going to want to come here. So that's one of those things where you're going to have to take the new head coach's opinion into consideration. Now, if we keep Pete Carroll, then I leave it up to Spytek's opinion. What he wants as the team, let him do it. Because Pete Carroll's not going to be here long term.
That long term is probably about 24 to 48 hours from now.
Oh, yeah, but it's not guaranteed. There is a small chance that he stays with the team.
So we did accomplish something today, though. We'll kind of put a bow on today's game and move on. But we stopped our losing streak in the conference.
Yes.
Over the last 2 years, so we kind of we put a Band-Aid on it for just a second there. We beat the Chiefs, and I don't know about you guys, but I want to beat the Chiefs more than anything. But when we got to today, I'm like, you're kind of like, I want the first pick. And as soon as the Giants won that game, I was like, all right, let's win the game.
I want the win.
Win the game. Win the game. And it cost us being higher up in the second and third and fourth rounds. I get that. But, the difference between 37 and or 36 pick and a 33rd pick is, to me, if there's somebody in that 33 to 34 range, you can sacrifice an extra draft pick and go up and get that guy. It's a little easier to bargain with people up there, especially with the Cardinals and the Jets, But yeah, slamming Sammy, I definitely, I'm glad we beat them. So, moving on here.
Eric Bell saying earlier, I said AOC played under a bunch of different OCs, and Max is tired of playing for different head coaches. Yeah, I totally agree. I get that. I mean, Max himself has said it multiple times, pretty much every single offseason.
But he's had the same defensive coordinator and the same defensive line coach for the last 4 years.
That 4 or 3?
So 4.
4. This is Patrick Graham's fourth year.
See, he was McDaniel's first year, McDaniel's fired year, AP, and then this year.
Yep. Okay.
So it's 4 years for him. But
he's one of the lone holdovers from the last regime.
Yeah. So since we're on the defensive side of the ball, we're going to talk a little bit about the front seven in and of itself, and we're going to leave the secondary out. Let's just talk about the front seven and where we go from here. You're going to probably throw names out there, and I want this guy, I want that guy, but I'm at the point now with this team that it's just get a guy that can do the job. And we were talking earlier about backstage that, some of the rankings of the defensive line edge rushers that are coming out, you're looking at 7 to 8 really good players coming out. And I would take anybody off of Texas Tech's front seven.
Well, can I ask you this real quick before you go too far with that? when you said really good, can you give me a comparison to like somebody that's in the NFL right now, but that's young and is impactful on a team? Like, what would you compare these guys to? Because I don't know enough about the defensive side, to be honest with you, other than Bain and what's his name, Reese.
Yeah.
Those are like the only two I really don't know anything about.
Orville Reese, he could be he could play off the ball. Orville Reese, you're going to comp him to Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons. Who else? What's his name from that? Just Abdul Carter.
Yeah.
Okay. Giants,
somewhere in that. Yeah. So, and he's gonna actually Orville's gonna probably have a higher ranking when we go into the draft season. He's probably going to end up with a higher ranking than Reuben Bain, because Reuben Bain has all the physical attributes to be a dominant defensive end, but he has shades of absence in games. So, and
right now, Arvell Reese is shooting up the boards to being the number 1 overall rated player.
Yeah, they have Caleb at 1 and him at 2, depending on which draft board you're looking at. I think, I don't know who you guys trust the most with your draft expertise, but I know I like Daniel Jeremiah, so I kind of stick with him a little bit. Mm-hmm. And he's got Arvell in the top 3. Arvell's going to be in the top 3 no matter what. He doesn't even have to do the combine. He could just do his pro day and that'd be fine. Who else? I mentioned Texas Tech's defensive line and their front 7 in and of itself. And really, in all honesty, there's three guys on that. I like Height. I really like Height, man. I don't know why Duncan doesn't like. I like that kid, man. He's got a good arms. He got a good wingspan, and he flows and feels like, he just does a really good job of especially outside when the ball goes outside. His pursuit, his discipline, backside discipline, and he tackles. So, but I'll leave it up to you, Duncan, and then see if I can quandary you.
And out of Texas Tech, I think my favorite players between Bailey and Lee Hunter.
Mm-hmm.
I think those two guys are pretty much the 2 main pieces on their front 4. And then Rodriguez, the linebacker, he's pretty dang good linebacker. Mm-hmm. Between those 3, I think the other players benefit. And then there's another linebacker, I believe he's a sophomore, so he's not eligible to come to the NFL. But I actually like him more than Rodriguez. But I think Height gets a lot of benefit from the other pieces. But they all have their own goals in the defensive system they play. Mm-hmm. So they just work well as a team, as a unit. But as far as play styles, Lee Hunter is an absolute monster against the run, and he plugs those gaps so well and takes so much pressure off the linebackers. Mm-hmm. Whereas Bailey, he's their main edge rusher, and he just flies. He's a smaller edge rusher, but he's electric.
Yeah. Hunter also has a good second move too on the pass rush too.
Yeah, but he's mainly
he's a run stopper. He's a 3 technique. He's definitely a 3 technique. But if you can get a 3 technique that's got a second move on a pass rush, dude, that's golden.
Yeah.
So, and then I'm gonna go back to Miami because of Reuben Bain, but I also think Messidor could make a difference on an NFL roster as well and be one of those key pieces on the defensive line in the NFL.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna reach for him just because of who he is, but I truly think that if he comes out, that he could be a solid 5 technique, solid 3 technique, and give you quality games. And he's a step or 2 above Jonah Alalalu, who I think had a really good season this year for us. So that might be something to consider,
Did he end up getting the tackles to break Crosby's first two seasons?
I don't know. His play is so silent. It's
one of
just
those things where you got to find out after the fact.
yeah. You got to find out after the fact. I just know Tyree finally played like a first-round draft pick tonight.
Well, he also played against a practice squad tackle.
Yeah, I know. It took putting the JV team in there to make him look good, but
Yeah,
he looked good.
In my opinion, the only thing he did is he increased his ability to
get
be
traded.
offloaded. If somebody wants him, here you go.
I said on the previous show when we were watching the game, I said on the previous show, I go, there's going to be some dummy that's going to pull this tape and watch it and think he's the greatest thing since sliced bread and want to pay him money or keep him next year and try to, he's going to be a focal point on. No.
Look how good he was in this game. Look.
Yeah.
No.
Watch the other 35 games he played in.
Go watch him when he played against Philly or he played against this team. The Titans, not the Titans, the Indianapolis. Go watch him on some of those other games. Screw that. Jesus Christ.
Well,
Slamming Sammy Joe.
Instead of getting into more specific players, why don't we say our main needs?
Everything but tight end.
Well, yes and no.
What's the no?
I mean, you can argue our safeties are good enough right now to where we can focus in other areas. I still think we need a true free safety because right now we have basically two strong side safeties, and one of them is more of like a off-ball linebacker / slot safety.
Mm-hmm.
But
so basically, you're saying don't draft Caleb Downs.
I mean, it just all depends on how it plays out. If Downs falls enough and you want to pull that trigger on Downs, by all means, trade up for him, take him.
Yeah.
He's that good of a player. And with him being a safety, there's a chance that he does fall. But I think NFL GMs really like Downs because they've seen how like an all-star safety can really change a defense. Because
when you're that good of a player, it's tough to pass up. That's the thing.
I mean, look at the Chargers defense after they drafted now his name's slipping from my mind. But oh god, that's gonna irritate me now. But the Chargers safety, Darwin James, when they drafted him, their defense got way better as soon as he started playing. Because he could really take control of the middle of the field and he shuts down tight ends.
Yeah. So cool. Well, on this topic, Cool Kev here says that we need corners, not safety. Well, let me kind of help you out with that,
safety.
Cool Kev.
He's saying corners and safeties. Yeah.
Corners
well,
and safety.
if you get a guy like Caleb Downs to come in, that is going to improve your cornerback play instantly. That's just. I mean,
hope so.
Yeah.
Well, the argument for D-line also. Having a great pass rush is going to instantly improve those two spots also.
So I'm not Bueno is in the chat. We're going to get to you in a minute, Mr. Bueno. But let me get caught up on the chat a little bit here. Eddie Krem here. Let's see what you got. Pete and Gino leave Seattle and look what happened. Hawks are strong on both sides of the ball. Yeah, they did get better on both sides of the ball, but that Jackson Smith in Ingwajiba, how do I hack his name every time I say it? That dude is he is the real deal. He's the real deal, guys.
Oh,
we got a $2 super chat right here. No one's better than me from Sliced Bread himself. If you say you are lying.
And I love bread, so we're good. Thank you.
Ain't nothing better than sliced bread, huh?
We definitely need linebackers. There's no two ways about it.
Nah.
I'm just seeing what Coach just said. Yeah, we do. Because who knows what we're keeping from this lot that we have right now? They're all 1-year deals.
Yeah. Eddie Krem's got a good one here too as well. Clemson has some studs on defense coming to the NFL. Peter Woods is a freak. I agree, but it's buyer's remorse.
Huh? He's going to be early first round though.
Yeah, he's going to be top 15 easy. Just depending on where the teams pick and who they want. But he'll be a top 15 for sure. He is super athletic. My only thing is, man, Clemson is just for some reason you see him in a Clemson uniform ball out, and they get to the NFL, and it's like, where did they go? You know.
Separator Paul.
Perry Stevenson here. First priority: get new coaching staff that will benefit Mendoza's development the most. Bam, Jeff, run with it.
If that's what Spytech wants to do as far as a quarterback, then he needs to get a coach in here that's going to do the best for that kid. Hands down. Don't worry about anything else on that roster. You worry about if that's the coach that you want to bring in because you want to bring that coach in specifically because of who we're going to draft at number one. Mm-hmm. That's definitely the way to go. There's no two ways about it. Because again, I've said this earlier today on when we were live during the game. This is a big investment, man. Number one pick is no joke. We can't screw around with this. We have to do our due diligence. We have to seriously count on this scouting team now to do their job the right way and scout the talent in the way that it needs to be done. Vet everybody and anybody that they have selected to possibly be that first pick. I don't care if you have to go to the elementary school teachers to find out about this kid. If he's got some dirty, nasty secret, they better know about it ahead of time. Plain and simple. Because I don't want any dirt on any of these guys coming out later on. Oh, he's got a DUI for this, or reckless driving over here, speed racing with this guy, or he did this to so-and-so, did that, bullying, what? None of that shit, man. I want this kid to be squeaky clean, and there is no problems. I don't want nothing coming out. After you draft him, if he does something, that's a different story. But I don't want it coming out that he did something 5 years ago that's going to be detrimental to him, the team, and us as fans and all that other crap. Mm-hmm. Where all of a sudden, next thing you know, well, the guy's out of football because he did something stupid 5 years ago that they finally caught up with it. And now there goes your first draft pick out the window. This has to be the most crystal clear. This can't be what it was the last time we picked number one, where they didn't do enough homework on the guy, or the fact that they did their homework and Al Davis just didn't want to hear it. It can't be that way this time. This is setting us up for the future. This pick is probably more important right now than any other pick we've had in the last 20 years.
Last 40
Even
years.
More important than Khalil Mack coming in here in the first round. This is the most important pick. Don't screw this up.
This pick has to,
go ahead.
This pick has to equal or be greater than when we took Tim Brown and Terry McDaniel.
Oh, yeah.
And Scott Davis.
Yep. I get what you're saying, Coach, about Jalen Carter. I would have taken him, too. I would have taken a flyer on that kid at that point, but he wasn't the number one overall. That's where this is the big deal, is because it's the first pick, and everybody's going to be –
not a salute, man.
You know, the national and international media is going to be – because don't forget, NFL's a big business. So anybody and everybody that's something in the world follows NFL for the most part. So with that first pick, that is going to be from now until the moment that card is read on that stage, that is going to be the most talked about thing from now until then, what the Raiders are going to do with their pick. So it's going to be all over the news. It's going to be talked about on all these social media outlets, commentators, content creators like ourselves doing this stuff, you guys in the chat adding to it and directing this. So this is going to be a hot topic for the next 5 months or 4 months. So the number one pick is different than the number 6 or the 7 pick, in my opinion. That number one pick speaks volumes going forward, and we can't get this wrong. Yeah. Cannot get this one wrong.
Yeah.
If we trade out, then all bets are off. If we trade out of that pick and we move back a few, then you know what? The pressure's not as bad on us, to be honest with you. The pressure's big. Spytech better put his big boy pants on.
All right, Pena, you earned it. And then Duncan, if you want to throw your weight around on this topic as well, what we were talking about.
As far as the first round pick, I think he just got to take Mendoza. I mean, he's great character, high IQ, plays really safe with the football. He is more of a game managing type quarterback, but I think in today's NFL, that's what you need. Somebody who's going to be smart with the ball, drive it down the field, eat up that clock, be able to control that game at the line of scrimmage, because he's smart enough to where he's going to be able to audible pre-snap. And on top of that, what head coach is going to want to come here with our best quarterback currently signed through next season is Aiden O'Connell. Right. Aiden O'Connell at best is a decent backup quarterback. So we definitely just need to take the quarterback. What we do with all the other picks, we can argue till we're blue in the face on all that stuff, because there's a bunch of great players in this draft. And from D-line to O-line, I really like the interior O-line in this draft class. There's a bunch of different guys that we can take. There's 3 great centers that I really like. Quite a few guards. I'd say there's 5 guards that have some pretty good upside.
Good offensive lineman in this one, man.
Yeah. And even though the offensive tackle class as a whole is weak, it's actually fairly good at right tackle. The top 2 tackles in this draft are both right tackles, and then there's a third one I really like in Miller from Clemson, who's a right tackle.
Fitting. Another guy named Miller coming in and playing the O-line.
Yeah. But like there's a bunch of different pieces that could very well be best available and also a position of need, which isn't hard to do because of how many needs we need. It's just our team's so lacking. We really have to attack it aggressively. It's going to start with the coaching, then on free agency. We really need to make some deals. And the draft, I don't care too much for the receivers in this draft, except for the high ones. So pretty much I don't see us drafting a receiver. So I think we should probably target Alec Pierce from the Colts. He just had a 1,000-yard season, 6 touchdowns, and he had 21.3 yards per catch or reception. So he could fill up a need. That way we don't have people clamoring that we absolutely have to draft a receiver and then pull their hair out when we don't.
Yep.
That Ravens
so we got some stragglers coming in on the chat here that we got to acknowledge here. Yeah. So Raider Paul, thanks for coming in with your stupid jelly roll comment, but I'm okay with it. It's jelly belly, my friend. Marcus Banks, man, we salute you. I don't know if we did earlier, but hey, all eyes on G. Thanks for coming in. All eyes. Money Chuck, thanks for coming in.
What's up, Money Chuck?
I'd like to trade up from the 3rd round to the late 2nd and get Oregon safety Dylan Thieneman. Oh, he's a ball hawk.
Oh, yeah.
He's a ball hawk.
Thieneman is really good.
Mm-hmm.
And it's crazy how, as we've been getting closer to draft season, how he's been falling. He's just so good. But it could be another thing is safety's undervalued.
No. Let's see. Toasted Wonder Bread. Fucking cool cat. Toasted Wonder Bread with American cheese, white American cheese.
Oh shit! Yeah, I see Money Chuck now. I don't even see him sneaking here. What's up, man?
Slamming Sammy. I think Caden McDonald's the 2nd best defensive tackle. I wonder how far he could fall. The season's only a couple hours old, over with. And a lot of these guys are going to be repositioned as we go along because there's going to be a lot of outlier type things that we need to address as well when we start setting our draft board. We're nowhere near. I think Mendoza's pretty solid at number 1. That's the consensus. I think it's about an 80-20 issue. I think it's 80% yes. There's about 20% of the people out there that say no. And I'll be quite honest with you, I don't understand the 20%'s take on it. I really don't. Because I've watched 6-7 games of his going back to Cal. And it just he checks every box that you want in a franchise quarterback. Let's see here. We're going to be in full rebuild for the next 2 to 3 years at best. We need to consider Crosby. He made it clear if we're not winning by 27, he wants out. 0 guaranteed in 27. I say get what you can while you can. Yeah, we addressed that earlier. It's time. It's let's make it all a harmonious type situation. And see if we can't parlay those into draft picks that can help us in 26 and 27 and going forward. Kind of youth up a little bit at that position. Now we got to remember Crosby was a 4th round pick.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not by out of the realm if we got an extra 4th round pick and we turn around and we get another Max Crosby. So it can happen. And then what? We came out ahead on the deal, right? I think the biggest hang up with the Raider Nation is how many number 98 jerseys are in the stadium on game day. And he's on every marquee in Vegas. And that's one of the
team. There's no toys about it.
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest hang up going forward. I'm afraid if Mendoza is drafted, he'll be folded like origami after the season ends, dude, as a pocket. Really? He's a pocket passer? Are we going to get this? He's AOC 2.0? He'll run circles around AOC in a foot race, number one. Number two, he has probably the best pocket discipline. Now, some of the sacks that he does take is because he makes that decision that instead of trying to force the ball on second down, live to play another day. And that's it. That's his mentality. Why make a bad situation worse? But if you watch him play outside the pocket, he can play outside the pocket. So
he's got great athleticism.
Yeah,
he's not.
He looks clumsy. Don't get me wrong. He looks clumsy, but so does Patrick Mahomes. I don't know how Patrick Mahomes gets outside the pocket and scrambles and runs and all this. And you sit there and he looks like snot rolling downhill, but he outruns everybody. So to make that assertion that Mendoza is just AOC 2.0, you know what? I'm not even going to listen to that. I'm not, because and you can go look at his stats. That's fine.
2.0 though. Nobody.
No. It hasn't been in his chat yet, but it's coming.
Oh, well, I mean, you're coming going after Sammy. I'm like, damn, he didn't say 2.0.
No. Look what he wrote. Dude is a pocket passer that requires a pocket to exist. He can play outside the pocket. I'm telling you.
The thing with Mendoza is he's a pocket passer that can run. And that's actually the same thing with Moore. Moore's a pocket passer also that can run. Moore's just more athletic and has a bigger arm. But Mendoza has a way quicker release, and his reads are way faster too. So look at this last game right now that just ended with the Chiefs. The Chiefs are playing their starting front seven.
Yep.
And Aiden O'Connell, when he was in, he was getting rid of the ball quickly. So there's nothing wrong with a pocket passer with a quick release. He's going to help you. And in fact, Tom Brady was the best one to do it. Pocket passer with a quick release.
Yep.
But
Mendoza can't get outside. And Slam and Sammy, I'm not. When I read this, I was going off of somebody else's take as well. When because I've heard he's not a dog. He's a system quarterback.
Jason went full mama bear on your ass.
And I was like,
in Sammy's defense, he could very well just be saying our O-line's that terrible. He doesn't want Mendoza to get folded over. It could possibly not be a knock on Mendoza and more a knock on our O-line, which
but his Cal
credited.
His Cal offensive line was worse.
Oh yeah, they were absolutely terrible.
And guess who they played and he balled out?
Miami.
Ruben Bain and Messidor were on that team.
Yeah.
And they're going to the NFL. And he balled out in that game.
Yeah, well, and then like look at Shador Sanders. Like half of his buildup is like, oh, he has the worst O line in the NCAA. Well, that same year, Mendoza's O line was right there with him as being the
No,
worst.
playing tougher
Is Pierce a
competition.
free agent?
Yeah, he'll hopefully he hits the market.
Because I looked at the list, I remember seeing him on there.
Uh,
If he is a free agent, there's two wide receivers on that free agent list that I'd be interested in. He's one of them now.
Yeah.
The other one would be, and I know he comes with some attitude. That's why Pittsburgh let him go.
Are you going to say DK Metcalf?
he's gonna say
No? Fuck no, no Pickens.
Oh, Pickens.
Yeah, he had a good year in Dallas, man. Jesus Christ, he's a good receiver.
He's a
He's
great,
talented.
great receiver. But if we draft Mendoza, I don't want anybody on the sideline throwing their helmet blaming the quarterback.
I don't want
No,
Pickens.
because that's where your other leaders on the team need to take that kid aside, meaning Pickens, and tell him shut the fuck up, and you're just gonna play and keep it at that, plain and simple.
Keyword.
No matter what, you pull the Ocho Cinco and start crying. He's my quarterback. Yeah, it would be like that instead. So
Perry
come on.
Stevenson's been coming in with some fire.
Hot ones. Yeah.
If we don't draft Mendoza, then what the hell do we do at quarterback? Tired of these losers we get. Exactly.
But
Get
we
the
would have to
quarterback.
trade for one because free agency ain't helping with quarterback. There ain't
But-
shit out there.
We've been playing that game for years.
Huh?
We've been playing that game for years.
Well,
Well,
that's what I
maybe
mean.
maybe this quarterback will slide to us into the draft, or we can go get somebody else's backup because they had 6 or 7 really good games that year as a backup. We'll go get that backup, bring him, make him our starter because we accidentally had that happen to us during our heyday, right? Well, things have changed, and
On more than one occasion, that's happened.
yeah, but the quality of the backup versus the quality of the starters has changed dramatically over the last 40 years.
Guys are backups for a reason. Back
Yeah.
when we did it, they were backups because A, they weren't ready yet, and they were still either a rookie or a second-year guy, or they were castaways from another team that didn't fit the system that they were running, a la Plunkett. The perfect example of it right there. You know, Stabler was a rookie, came in, his second year, right? I think it was. Because he didn't start right away when he came.
Stabler was on the taxi squad for 2 years.
Yeah. So I mean,
His first 2 years.
that's the occasion there where the backup eventually shined for us. You know, like everybody's always looking for the next Plunkett for the Raiders, or the next Rich Gannon. That shit ain't gonna happen. You know, everybody thought we had that with Geno after watching the Patriots game. That we're all set at quarterback. No, we're not.
I was one of them. I was one of those guys.
I watched him in person at that game, and I can tell you right now, I didn't feel it. Yeah, he got us a win. He did what he did. He had a good game. I'll give him that. But no, he obviously was not, because then he proved it on the following Monday night that he's not the answer, because he was horrible that Monday night. Horrible.
Raider Pete, if God bless it, Spytech does it right this time, you are absolutely correct, my friend. If he does his job in free agency, no more Kappa signings. And here's where this year's free agency is going to be different than last year's free agency, is the fact that we got Brian Hunt to come in and be our pro player personnel. That's going to change a lot. That guy is really sharp when it comes to his
Philly,
pro player.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because don't forget, everything that we drafted last year was based off of research that was done by the prior scouting team based on last year's information. So Spytech had to go by what was already produced. They're not going to go and reinvestigate all these players coming out and everything. They wouldn't have the time for it by the time Spytech got here. So this is the deciding draft, which is why it's important that Spytech does not be let go and that he stays here. Because now you've got that scouting team working under him, under Spytech, and under what's his name that came over from Philly, running that scouting department now and researching these players. You're going to get hopefully better results, because if he takes anything away from what Philly's done and brought it with him as far as how they do things and how they evaluate this talent of these college players, that will have a huge impact. You're going to see a difference with this draft, hopefully. You're going to see more intelligent picks. You're going to see more homework done on these kids. So, and I know Brandon said, I'm talking that it's going to be talked about for the next 20 years. I'm talking about from now into the draft, the talk is going to be about what we're going to do with that first pick. That's going to be everything right now. Between now and then is that first pick. Nobody's going to care what we're going to do in the second and third right now. Everything's going to be about what are the Raiders doing with that number one pick. After we make the pick, whoever it is, they're going to talk about it for years. Look, Jamarcus Russell, we're still talking about it. It's almost 20 years now. So, yeah. I'm excited for what the scouting team can do this year.
Yep.
I'm hoping it's night and day compared to what we've had before.
Yep. Is Mendoza Latino Brady? He had Latino better Josh Allen. I don't think he's as athletic as Josh Allen. Josh Allen, when he runs like a gazelle, man. And he's so strong. He takes those hits, man. It's like, why do you let your quarterback do that? But he survives those hits.
We can't do that.
Yeah, and
can't happen here.
And Mendoza's only 225 on a 6'5" frame, so he can take a hit. As you can tell in the Ohio State game, he took a couple good shots and came right back and said, I see your nice hit and I raise you a touchdown. Yeah.
And that's what I said. That's the trade-off you got to take with that. Yeah. That's where the leadership in the locker room comes from, too, to button up guys like that. So they shut the fuck up and just play the goddamn game that you get paid millions to do.
Yeah.
Real quick, an update on the game tonight. We're in the second half. 8 minutes, 23 seconds to go in the second half. Baltimore 10, and Pittsburgh is about to go for a PAT to tie it up at 10 apiece. And
he made the PAT.
Yep. Well, we've seen him miss this year, people. So it was a touchdown pass to Haywood.
Bueno
is a tight end for them.
Is a good receiver, but bad locker room presence. Trust me, bro. And then Cool Kev hits him with the most receivers are divas. Just deal with it.
He's not wrong.
It's how it's been now these past few years. Feel better about Mendoza if the team addresses the O-line and free agency. That quick release does a lot for him, but Rodgers had a super quick release on the Jets in 2024 too. Wasn't that the first play?
It was the fourth play of the game. He blew his Achilles.
Yeah,
but here's the deal: he had that injury in preseason. It just because he had missed a lot of preseason because of quote unquote calf strain. But I can guarantee you that Achilles was starting to give out already. He just finally snapped it.
And you know what? I got to agree with that assessment on Mendoza too. If whoever comes in as coach and with Spy Tech, if they go all in on free agent offensive linemen and they hit that hard, and we get guys like a Linderbaum and maybe a top right tackle that's out there in free agency or a top guard in free agency. If you solidify those two, if you solidify the center with Linderbaum and then you bring in one other piece to the puzzle as a veteran offensive lineman, then go get Mendoza, plain and simple. Because now I know you're built on protecting this kid. Doesn't mean necessarily he's going to start right away, but now I'm confident in you going and getting him. Just like I would have been confident and wouldn't have thrown my hat when we picked Genti last year if we would have brought in some veteran offensive linemen to make him a better running back. And it's not because of his talents, because the line was so bad. But if you do that, I'm all on board with it 100%, and I wouldn't want to trade out at that point. Just get your guy.
But do we wait for? Are you going to take a chance to wait till 2027 to get your quarterback?
Nope.
No.
Take the quarterback. If he don't work out, then draft another quarterback. And if he don't work out, draft another one. Just keep going for him. Like, we can keep building the offensive and defensive lines in the later rounds of the draft, third, fourth rounds, and keep bringing in new talent consistently, and then also keep hitting the free agency. But the quarterback nowadays, you have to have them. And as long as you're available to pick a quarterback, you just take the quarterback. Unless, of course, you already found your quarterback and you're still losing, then maybe trade back, try to get more picks, and build up your talent as much as you can.
I mean, and another thing, in all honesty, if you don't take Mendoza, there's still quarterbacks in this draft that I would like. In all honesty, Chambliss, depending on how Ole Miss does the rest of the way, that might not be a bad option in later rounds. Or even later in the first round or early second, he may play himself up that high. Right now, he's slated at like overall 118, which I think puts him like around the third, fourth round.
I think he already played himself into the early second.
I think he did too.
And
who's that?
Chambliss.
Yeah, and don't be surprised if he just doesn't keep on going.
Yeah. No, if he has another good showing, he's definitely first rounder.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they make it to the championship and he still plays well,
mm-hmm.
I mean, championship game, he's going to play either Oregon or Indiana, and both of them have really good defenses. And if he plays well against them,
that's a true test for him too.
Yeah, he'll definitely be top 20.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's already early second, maybe even borderline first round already, just with how he's played in the playoffs.
Yeah. I wouldn't be shocked to see the Rams take a poke at him in the draft because they got an extra first round pick they could play with, and Stafford's got at least 2 good years left in him. I thought after watching Stafford last year he was on the decline, and I watched him this year and I'm like, nah, he ain't on the decline.
Well, you saw all the investment the Rams did to make sure he was healthy and able to keep his body healthy.
Yeah, and he didn't
a lot of money that didn't go to him directly, but went to a bunch of stuff that made him healthy and then kept him that way.
Yeah. The Surfer Bob, welcome in. Robert Davila, welcome in, brother. Great show. Thank you. We appreciate that. Go ahead, Jeff.
Sorry.
Who pulled this one?
I did. I'm not even handling the chat tonight. I did it all day today. This is your show. This is your show. You guys did today. I'm just here to add my 2 cents.
Did you hear that, Duncan?
Yeah, it's our show.
All right.
It's under your name. It's under the Show Me Your Shield.
Yeah, but you're the boss of the company, and it's just figuring out.
It's your show, douchebag. Just run it the way you want.
Well, anyway,
here we go.
Slim and Sammy can't put too much on the quarterback's shoulders because the quarterback will always get blamed for things that aren't even their fault. I think Mendoza is good. It's him on the Raiders that worries me. 100%. We've been a shit show of a franchise since we lost that Super Bowl. So it's
Raider Nation. Raider Nation is suffering from draft anxiety. I'm sorry, Duncan. Go ahead. Finish what you were saying. I apologize.
I said it's about time we get aired out and lose that funk. Time to get some new scents going. Because right now we smell like a bunch of manure.
Well, we need to not have draft anxiety and look at the past as to our failures.
Yeah, 100%. That's the biggest thing that gets me in these past couple weeks is how many times people are bringing up past drafts. It's like, how many people are actually in the building that were even there for those drafts?
Yeah.
Mark Davis. But even then, while Al Davis was alive, Mark wasn't actively doing anything. Mm-mm. He didn't step in until after he fired Hugh Jackson. Like
when Hugh Jackson became the what do you call it? The impromptu GM after Al died and gave Cincinnati 15 picks for Carson Palmer.
Hugh Jackson basically became the president of the Raiders for that season, and it completely ruined our franchise, even more than it already was. We were already a dumpster fire, but
that was a good team that year.
It was. Look at the cap hell he put us in.
Yeah. I'm laughing because there's Lamar Jackson in the chat, and he goes, "Have a great off season." And after I saw that, I look over the TV and I see Lamar Jackson throw the ball. It bounces off of one of his offensive linemen's head, comes back at him, hits his arm, and TJ Watt scoops it up and recovers it and lays on the field. And it was immediately, as soon as he popped into the chat and said, "Have a great offseason," that happens to him. And they got it. And Pittsburgh's got the ball at, where are they? They started on Baltimore's 25-yard line. So they're going to be going in for a touchdown. So good job, Lamar Jackson.
Robert Davila. Yeah, the Falcons already cleaned house. They got rid of their GM, their front office, their head coach, coaching staff, everything. So they're already took the first steps in the arms race of this offseason.
Yeah.
We can't get the next Jay Schroeder. That's over my head. I don't get it.
God, please help us.
Yeah, we're not going there. That was that's one guy that single-handedly cost us some playoff and Super Bowl chances.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Mark Wilson.
Yeah.
Where do we
Jay
stop?
Schroeder,
Happy
Billy
New
Joe
Year,
Hobart, Rusty Hilger, Todd Marinovich.
I'll tell you what, though. There was one quarterback we could always count on coming in and throwing a shit ton of passes, getting a ton of yardage, and usually pull a win off for us, was Vince Evans. That son of a bitch was always around. That son of a bitch played well into his late 30s and would
40s, yeah.
Last second, you need him out. Yeah, Gannon goes down or whoever goes down hurt. Boom, Vince Evans out there. Oldest quarterback in the NFL. Old faithful, man. That's what he was like.
And then we had, I like the Jeff Hostetler era because he was just true grit. That guy was.
I saw him here in New England in '94 when the Raiders came to town.
Yeah, and we won.
Yes, we did. It was the first time the Raiders won,
coming
and
in
only that was the first. And until the Raiders came here to play the Patriots this year, that was the second time I've seen the Raiders win in person.
Yeah, always. We definitely. I was kind of glad that we got Geno Smith because what we had going into the season was not practical. But after seeing what I saw, that was. We'll get to that where I was right and where I was wrong later.
I don't think
but
expected that, Geno Smith.
But Navy Vet, welcome in, man. One of our OGs. Happy New Year's to you too, my friend. Roy 8200. The amount of drop balls during your training camp was a concern for me, but I didn't see this coming. Yeah, and the two rookies that we had, Betch and Thornton. I think it was an eye opener. But as the season gone along, Betch got better. If he can take that next leap going into the next year, I think we have something with him. I've heard some people compare his work ethic to that of Jordy Nilsson, and if he continues on that ascension, that he can actually rise to the level of a Jordy Nilsson.
Well, he's got hands. The kid's got hands, and he shows that he's a possession receiver, and you need that.
He's Jacoby Myers.
Yeah.
I'm way behind on the chat, Skipper. I'm going to go money check here. Besides QB and offensive line, what position do you prioritize? I flip-flop between safety and defensive tackle. I think we can get a serviceable cornerback in free agency, but not sure. Do we give Kuntz another contract? Kuntz only gets a league minimum contract. That's it. A league minimum. A league minimum. Snowden actually goes into RFA this year, he's unrestricted this year.
Yeah,
because we already RFA'd him twice, I believe.
Snowden?
Yeah.
Oh, he's still restricted.
Is he?
Yeah.
He's just going into his fourth year?
I believe so. Because last year was his first start restricted, so this will be his last.
Yeah. These start for Bob. Draft Fernando, then the best wide receiver to complement him in the second round. Fix O-line in free agency. I truly think that if we hit it in free agency when it first opens up, Spytech grabs that checkbook and gets his plane tickets, and he meets as soon as free agency, as soon as they open, what do they call it, open tampering, you lock him in, get that checkbook out, and just like Lincoln Kennedy said, if we have to overpay to get the good guy, we overpay, get the good guy. Because the overpaying offensive line now is beneficial because we're going to bring in a quarterback that's going to be on a rookie contract that gives you so much more opportunity to sign those better players.
And then that also buys us time to bring in more linemen in the draft.
You
Train
can,
up.
yeah,
Because we didn't fully answer Money Chuck's question, to be honest with you. We just jumped right to the Kuntz thing. In all honesty, a defensive tackle. There's no choice about it.
Yeah,
A defensive tackle, in my opinion.
that's what I wanted to say.
Especially if Max is still here, then defensive tackle. We need him some help in the middle. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Butler's good. He had a little bit of an off year. I know he finished the season injured. Booker was serviceable for the most part, but I don't think he's the answer, obviously. I do like what we saw with Lalau this year. I like that kid. I mean, granted, I know it was against lesser talent today, but Hemingway looked really good today. He had a heck of a game. Tyree looked like a superstar today, but we all know he ain't a superstar.
No.
He just had some lucky plays today.
That was fool's gold, what we saw today.
Yeah, like 805 always says, unblocked Tyree's an MVP Hall of Famer. And that's pretty much what we saw today. So, but yeah, I think definitely defensive tackle, or we need linebackers, man, because we may not have any of these guys after this season. They may not want to sign back here for all we know.
We could. I think we could get a Devin. I think we could re-sign Devin White.
We probably could, but again, they're all on 1-year deals, so we have to address the linebacker position too. So I would go defense after the O-line and QB, which we understand. I think you might be on the right path with the safeties that we have, that we could be okay with that. If we can get a run stopper up in the middle and a linebacker, a really good linebacker out of this draft, because there's a few in there I've seen too, from what I understand.
If
Sounds
we can
like
get
one of those Texas Tech guys I mentioned.
Yeah.
If we can get one of those badass 3 technique guys that are coming out in the draft that can just stuff the middle, then it's going to help that linebacker out quite a bit anyway. So,
Lee Hunter.
Sorry, I'm
Victor
trying to
Rodriguez,
finish eating my
here we
pizza.
come.
Starving.
yeah.
I'm gonna skip down a little. Robert Davila, please God, let me wake up tomorrow and the Raiders get rid of all this coaching staff.
We're doing the same thing.
You and me both, brother.
The same thing. I even thought about leaving my stocking out tonight.
Did you see Silver?
He got a silver and black first waiting outside of Allegiant.
Did you see Surfer Bob's quote message before that one? Before Cool Kev's? This one's
Josh
good.
Allen runs like a gazelle.
I tell you,
Fernando
it's
runs
just
like a
funny. I
giraffe.
think it's hilarious. Alan
mean,
runs
it's
like a gazelle.
accurate.
Fernando runs like a giraffe.
Yeah. He is goofy. He looks clumsy when he runs, but man, he
gains
still
yards.
he gets yards, and he's a lot faster than what you think. I mean, he's you guys go ahead. I'm going to do some research here.
Robert Davila, I say we got 6 wins next year. Best case scenario. We have a brutal schedule. Our team's super lacking in talent. Even if we hit 4 great picks and we do get 2 pieces in free agency that are legit, which I think is the best hope we can wish for, we're still severely lacking. They need to be on the phone like yesterday with Jerry Jones for that 14th and or 21st pick. I'm assuming that's for Max Crosby. It's not going to happen. Max is Raider for life. I mean, we can hope, but it's also got to think of, is Max done with the Raiders kind of thing? Because all the bullshit he's had to put up with, all the cycling of coaches and front offices, like it's going to come to a point where he's had enough if it keeps going like this.
So some measurables, some preliminary measurables, and these are measurables that are taken basically their freshman year, is Mendoza's height is 6'5", 225, and he runs a 4.8 40. which is that's not slow for a quarterback. It's not extremely fast. It's not like, ooh, it's not fast, but it's right about in that area where he can get his ass out of trouble if he needs to.
You know, I'm gonna catch you guys up in the chat. You guys just keep talking. So I'm gonna, because you're like 15 minutes behind here.
Yep. Let's see where you.
Yeah, definitely a quarterback class is better this year.
Damn Skippy on the eye candy. Look at me. King of the cow down. No. Hey, 226 new year, new Raiders. That's right, man. We're 0-2. We're 1-0 right now. Unfucking defeated. They're able to trade down to the top 10 and get multiple first-round picks and 2 second-round picks. Will be worth it, given the needs everywhere else. That's the problem. We got a ton of open spots.
But we can't wait and hope a franchise quarterback falls to us.
No.
Okay? You have to if you are sold on a guy as a franchise quarterback, you take him. And usually it's within the first within the first 40 picks.
Well, who's going to be our head coach? Like, names on the table. Got Chris Shula, defensive coordinator of the Rams. Saleh, defensive coordinator from the 49ers. Flores, defensive coordinator from the Vikings. Kubiak, offensive coordinator from Seattle. Like, also heard mentions of the offensive coordinator from the Rams, LaFleur. Like, who are the names that we're looking at that we seriously want as fans to be our head coach?
No. And I would love to pick from the Sean McVay tree. Because every coach has worked, and the Sean McVay tree starts with John Gruden. Okay, so you're gonna have a natural West Coast offense, and you're gonna have a play caller that is gonna be dialed in. I know LaFleur doesn't call the plays, but he's been there long enough that I bet you can't call plays.
Yeah. I mean, LaFleur is definitely interesting. I generally have a rule that I stay away from non-play callers as my head coach candidate. I think it's a lot safer and a lot more of a guarantee to go after a coordinator that actually calls their plays. Because you don't have any record on how they actually call a game if they're not calling the plays for their team. Like Kubiak, I think, is a lot higher on my list than LaFleur is because Kubiak calls plays.
Yes.
That's also why I like Shula, because Shula runs that defense. He's their defensive coordinator, and McVay is an offensive guy. And same with Flores. And
So,
Saleh.
Just Dixon, just to set the record straight, anybody new that's in here, I don't want them thinking I don't hate Mendoza. I just don't want Mendoza here if
Pete Carroll.
If Pete Carroll is still here as the head coach. If Pete Carroll's gone and whoever comes in, like I just said a few minutes ago, brings in those free agent offensive linemen, then go get the goddamn guy. Go get him, because that's going to be the direction this team's going to need to go. Because until we get that bona fide quarterback that we can count on year in and year out, and if everybody seems like he's the one, if the scouting reports come back that that's the guy to get, then that's the guy you go and get. If Pete Carroll's here? Oh, hell no. I'd rather draft a freaking defensive player instead of Mendoza, because it's going to be a wasted quarterback pick for us. I'm telling you. You got a better chance of taking a defensive player with the first pick overall that you can plug and play, or you trade back at that point. If you're not taking a quarterback, let someone else take him and get what you can get. Get a boatload of picks for that number one spot and fill holes on the roster. If Pete Carroll's here, because I just don't trust him with a rookie quarterback. You can't even trust him with the offensive line we have, and you want to trust a rookie quarterback with this staff? Oh, hell no.
Well,
what's up, Alan?
I say you take the quarterback regardless, because you already have proof with the Bears and the Patriots that once you get that quarterback, you can build around them. And you can take the route like how the Patriots did last year, where they did everything they could to not play their quarterback until they absolutely had to. So that way it buys them time off of the field.
Hit this for Furpo.
Raiders.
Sorry.
What is up, Furpo, man? Good one. Hey, since we're on that topic, I myself personally, no matter how good that first round pick is, they should sit at least the first 4 games. At least, at minimum, the first 4 games.
As far as quarterback, right?
Yes, as quarterback. The running back, no. Offensive line, no. If they're ready, you put them in there.
Well, I think
You both can kiss my ass.
But if you got, let's say, for example, we get middle of the road backup quarterback that comes in that can maybe solidify, get us a win or two the first 4 games, you still want to sit him the first 4 games because you don't want to because there's so much that goes into becoming an NFL quarterback.
It's pretty much what I just said.
But you could be disciplined and not put him in harm's way and still get him.
Yeah.
Right.
Now on Smith and let him get ran over next year.
But you know damn well how fans are, especially in Raider Nation. You've got this shiny new object. Could you imagine if they decided to sit Genty because the offensive line was so bad and we didn't want him to get hurt? So you got this shiny new object over here, this number 1 overall pick, Mendoza. People are already wanting him in now, and we haven't even gotten to the draft. We don't even know what's the game. The season's not even fully over yet. They're still in the third quarter.
A power running back versus a quarterback's 2 different things.
I get that. But when you've got a quarterback, you know fans and people are going to be like, "Oh,
I get that. Yeah.
He's not playing," and then you got to deal with that crap in the chat all the time. How come they're not him? Yeah. I don't know. Don't ask me. Maybe he's not good enough. I don't know.
Jeff, you're close to a lot of Patriots fans where you live at.
Oh.
How were they treating last year? They had that brand new 3rd overall pick rookie quarterback who was sitting on the bench with a team comparable to ours right now. Like, how were they reacting?
The same way. How come he's not starting? And then when he got out there, he was And people were like, oh, he's not as good as we thought. And then look at this year. What happens when you have a whole again, that coaching staff last year for the Patriots was awful.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's the same situation we're in now.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And look what happened. They brought in the guy that Robert Kraft wanted. I knew as soon as Mayo got fired, Vrabel was not even going to be an option for us. He goes there. He surrounds himself with guys that he knows can get the job done, that's familiar with the New England tradition or the way they do things in New England. Brings Josh McDaniels back as the offensive coordinator. He takes Drake Mann. Now the son of a bitch is, talks of being an possible MVP for this season. He goes from a guy that everybody wanted on the field, and then when he got on, they were bitching about him, and to he's going to possibly be the MVP this season. Mm-hmm. Go figure.
Yeah. Well, I just keep going to the point where you take your quarterback and you can build around him. Bears did it. Patriots did it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's so much harder to find a very good to great quarterback than it is to find and build a team around him.
So you think Mendoza is that good that he's a good to great type quarterback?
I do personally, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And then even
I'm not knocking it. I'm just asking a legit question.
No, I know, but even then, let's say he ends up being a what was that quarterback from what was it, UCLA that went to the Cardinals, and then the very next year they drafted another quarterback. Even if it's that situation.
Oh, Sam Bradford? Was it Bradford?
No, it's not Bradford. I can't remember his name, but he ended up getting traded to Tampa Bay. But even if Mendoza ends up not being that guy, we're going to be in another position to draft a quarterback. Thank you, Raider Nate. Rosen.
Hey, Nutty Nate, what's up?
Yeah, there you go, Rosen. Yeah.
But if he ends up not being that guy, we're going to be in a position to get another quarterback in the draft. Whereas if we keep skipping the quarterback and build up that team, we're going to be in a position where we cannot get a quarterback. We're going to have to keep relying on free agency or a late round quarterback, and we're going to keep being middle of the pack. Look at the Steelers. All these years, they've had a really good, strong defense and a pretty decent O-line, and they cannot get a quarterback because they do not lose enough games. And then they don't win in the playoffs. They're just stuck in the middle of the pack. Mm-hmm. Get the quarterback, build around him, play him. If he sucks, oh well, we're going to be in another position to get another quarterback and draft that one.
No.
Get the quarterback.
Yeah, it's harder. It's so much harder to get that franchise quarterback than it is to fill the other spots. You know, it just. I mean, we haven't done it. Other than Kenny Stabler, I mean, even when we drafted Derek Carr with a 35th pick, 35th or 36th pick, we didn't draft him to be our franchise quarterback. We drafted him he was actually going to be a backup quarterback, and we traded for Matt Schaub. Matt Schaub was supposed to be, quote unquote, our franchise quarterback going forward. It just so happens that the preseason came along and everybody was like, wait a second, this Derek Carr can throw the ball. You know, so that's how that and he Derek Carr did a very good job in stabilizing that position for us. Did a very good job. It's unfortunate that we didn't carry the rest of it with him. You know, that we had some good offenses, but we never had that complementary defense that would take us to that next level.
I bet you to the end of the chat, so I'm relinquishing the mouse. But I can't get on the Lamar Jackson kick.
No,
I can't. No. It's going to cost too much, and I don't want a guy that's going to play most of the season early and then be out when you need him the most, when you're fighting for a playoff spot. You know, those games he missed this year, this game wouldn't even matter right now. You know, the games he missed earlier in the season that they could have won if he was out there. Granted, Tyler Huntley did a decent job for them, but
100%, Roy. Coach JB says it all the time. A good quarterback makes an O-line better. 100%. I mean, look at AOC compared to Pickett today. Pickett was absolutely dog awful and had the D-line sitting in him. And AOC, who's not a great quarterback at all, not even a good quarterback, maybe a good backup, and that's as best as it gets with him. And the O-line already looked better because he was getting rid of that ball quicker.
Oh, he definitely was. You could see it. He ran like a goof when he tried running for that first down. I thought that was funny watching that run.
And there's another component to this as well, is getting a better offensive line coach.
That's 100% the biggest hiccup with this offensive line. I'm sorry. They don't go from being as decent as they were last year to just being awful.
Bueno, besides overpaying, now turns us into a respectable franchise, and then later on when we are consistently winning, then we can be tighter on the checkbook.
Amen, brother. Good call.
Yep.
Good call.
Alan Dukes Jr., when was the last time you heard the Raiders had a locker room atmosphere you'd want? They need a hard-ass coach that can weed out singles for team players. How many take pride in the shield? Exactly. I mean, other than Max, I can't really point to maybe JPJ, but this coaching staff ruined that with JPJ.
Yeah,
Bowers, I think Bowers is a silent leader.
When
Bowers, he's not a talker. He just
he just does everything.
The silent one would be Colton Miller, to be honest with you.
Him too.
He's the longest tenured veteran on this team right now. He is the captain on the offense. He is an offensive captain, but he's very reserved. That's the thing. You've never heard him say much of anything. Like when he had a press conference earlier this year. He came out to the podium. That was probably one of the first times I've seen him in a long time come out and talk. You know, so he's not extremely vocal out in public or like at the podium. We don't know what he's like in the locker room. Like, he's just not one of those social media guys either, where he's putting all kinds of shit over, social media platforms and everything. He's a quiet, reserved, leader. But he leads by example, is what it is with Colton Miller. He leads by.
I thought they just killed Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,
he got up.
But going back to what Alan Dukes said, talking about a hard-ass coach, I mean, the first name that comes to mind when you think hard-ass coach for me is Flores. Brian Flores. That's
No.
kind of why he got ran out of Miami, is because he was a hard ass coach. He thought Tua was soft, and he made it a point to target Tua, and he got ran out because of it. But guess what? Some of those very good defensive players they had in Miami all followed him to Minnesota because they love him. So it definitely could be a locker room changing guy in Brian Flores, and he's a hard ass, and he's going to bring a different type of culture than we have right now or have had in the past few years. Only issue is it might end up getting too similar to when McDaniels was here, because McDaniels is a my way or the highway kind of hard ass guy. Do it how I tell you and do it exactly how I tell you. So we could run into issues like that if we brought in Flores.
Mm-hmm.
Slamming Sammy coming at the chat again. Lamar will likely be a free agent in 2028. I don't think Ravens are going to extend him. Depends on if he keeps getting injured. I mean, he's getting older. His injuries are going to keep coming more and more. He's going to slowly start losing his athleticism the older he gets. It's going to come a point where they're seriously going to question it. And as his contract's coming closer to an end, their moves in the draft will tell you if they're going to move on from him. If they start drafting quarterbacks consistently, then yeah, they're looking to get rid of him. Robert DeVille, look, we can do this. Head coach, OC, Q1, right guard, left tackle, linebacker, D tackle. I don't understand what he's trying to say there.
Head coach, offensive coordinator, a QB1, a right guard, left tackle, a linebacker, and defensive tackle. I get what he's saying.
Positions to target.
Yeah.
The only thing with the right guard is JPJ went out, and with what I've seen it with Rodgers the past few weeks, I'm not. I don't think I would put that. I'd run that up as a higher priority right now. Yeah, I wouldn't overlook it, but I wouldn't prioritize it as much as a tackle. And I would like to see a swing tackle, somebody that could play both sides. Or if we dropped him as a left tackle, but we can move him to right tackle until he's ready to take over for Miller. Now, I did say earlier, I am a believer in we keep that when you draft a person, you keep them in their natural position. It's usually, the best way to go about doing it, business wise. Going into the draft and you see a guy that's playing right tackle, but you're going to draft him to be guard. It works and it can work, but if you need a right tackle, you're going to want to draft a guy. You want a right tackle, somebody that's played right tackle.
Well, I think even though Rodgers has shown promise, we still have to attack that position. We can't be content like we were with Glaze in the offseason.
I'm not saying content. I'm just saying we don't have to prioritize it as bad.
Glaze needed somebody to push him, and I think Rodgers needs the same thing.
Yeah. Well, we're going to need a guard.
We need
by all means
line. JPJ's injury prone, Miller's injury prone.
Yeah,
Rodgers,
I get that.
Looks promising, but needs to be pushed. Glaze clearly is weak against speed rushers. Our whole line needs targeted.
So when we go into free agency, we don't go get a Kappa and Forsythe.
100%.
Yeah,
we go and get somebody, because there are some good quality offensive linemen out there that were backups on other teams that can start on our team. And go get those guys. You're going to improve our offensive line just by doing that. Go get I'll trade you a 5th round pick for your second string left guard that is probably a all pro on another team. Yeah. He just happens to be. I mean, you look at the Philadelphia Eagles is a perfect example. Their backups are better than any of our starters.
Oh hell yeah! Why do you think they were able to let Booker walk like they did? Guy probably would have started on some other teams too. So I mean, he was a third stringer there.
Yeah.
And he turned into a serviceable player for us to, come in and do what we need him to do. Not the greatest, but when we needed him, he was there.
They didn't get any reps out of. We jumped over to the defensive side though on this conversation, Jeff. I was actually talking about the offensive line, not the defensive line.
So we get rid of Carroll family, strengthen our line in free agency, draft Mendoza, and let them compete for QB1 with AOC.
I don't even think there's Mendoza's already 2 times better than the AOC.
Yeah, I don't think it's competition necessarily. I think it's if AOC is the veteran on our team, AOC starts to let Mendoza sit and learn.
I'm fine with that.
Gonna piss off a lot of fans, but guess what? Don't kill our quarterback when we don't have a team around the quarterback position yet.
Mm-hmm.
And stop effing with my emotions. The front office of the Raiders. AJ Cole, yeah, he's definitely a Raider.
Yeah.
Hopefully he retires a Raider. I wanted Leckler to retire a Raider, but didn't happen.
Yeah.
I'm also for letting Ruggs No.
Nope.
See goodbye. He's gone.
Yeah.
We got the money to buy an offensive.
What was that? What did he say? What did I miss?
Raider Travis said, I'm all for letting Rudge try out. No,
he's been talking Ruggs a lot lately.
No.
I'm not against it, but I'm also not 100% like, yeah, let's
absolutely not. And nothing against the kid, but the whole situation in of itself, we don't need that.
Panthers didn't extend Cam Newton in his 30s and actually led his team to a Super Bowl, unlike Lamar. Yeah, very true. I thought that was dumb by the Panthers to not extend Cam Newton, but he was also having serious arm issues because he could barely throw the ball when he was with the Patriots.
Nah, he was struggling.
Lamar Jackson can still sling the ball. That's the difference there. Remember when the Raiders brought Art Shell? Man, they'd die for him. Yeah,
well,
with a 2-win season.
Oh, no, you don't remember the Art Shell 1.0.
Yeah. That was
before we were around for the Art Shell 1.0. And so the Art Shell 1.0 from 88 to 94, was it? Anyways.
Yeah, the first goal was good.
Yeah, so he took over in 88 for Mike Shanahan. And Mike Shanahan was trying to implement his culture into the Raiders culture when you already had Greg Townsend and Howie Long and Tim Brown and Marcus Allen, and those guys were on the roster. These are hardcore Raiders, and this guy was trying to bring his quote unquote his style of football team in. And when it got to the point where he was getting ready to fire Willie Brown and Fred Biletnikoff off the coaching staff because it was quote unquote his coaching staff.
Mistake. You don't touch those guys.
Those guys aren't going nowhere. So that's where the fight kind of began. Plus, he wasn't producing on the field with the and the Raider way back then was Al Davis gets the players, you coach the team. That's the way it was. He gets the players, you coach the team. And he started to pull some shenanigans. The locker room started to kind of implode on the coaching staff. And then when they made Art Shell the interim head coach, it was like a relief off of everybody's chest. And then they can, just something simple and stupid as Mike Shanahan had a rule, no sitting on your helmet on the sideline. Right? No more sitting on your helmet on the sideline. Just little shit like that, right? Well, you know what Howie Long liked to do? Sit on his helmet and watch the offense play on the sideline.
Yep.
And when our show came back, guess what? If you want to go down at the end of the field and watch the offense while you sit on your helmet, go ahead. I don't care.
Biletnikoff used to do the same thing when he was watching the defense when the offense was on the sidelines.
Yep.
So would Stabler. Him and Stabler would sit side by side on their helmets and watch the game.
Yeah. So, and that's when the culture flipped, and then they had two. It wasn't until after the Buffalo game in 1990 when we got obliterated in the AFC Championship game is when his team started 8-8, 7-9, and then Al Davis was kind of forced to make a change because it just became too stagnant at that point. Plus, Terry Rubisky was a horrible offensive coordinator. God,
He's
that guy
still
was
out there too. I think he's still around.
Rubisky. I think he's he does consulting and stuff now. I don't think he coaches anymore.
I've seen his name pop up here and there sometimes.
Yeah. God, man. We ran the same play like 20 times in a row when he was the offensive coordinator. It was.
If it worked once or twice, it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
805 is in the building, just so you guys know. 805.
What's up, 805?
Welcome in, man.
Just left Hollywood. Leo at the bar next to the stadium. It was good beating the Chiefs and still holding the number one. Pittsburgh, here we come. Yep, we are officially on the clock.
Yeah.
So some people were talking about your point, Jason, about the draft players at their natural position. I agree with Money Chuck. A lot of offensive tackles do convert to guard, but a lot of those tackles are natural guards, but they're playing tackle in college because
the necessity.
Yeah.
Added necessity.
I think the perfect example for this draft is Trey Zune from Texas A&M. I think he's going to be a very good guard in the NFL, but he's played pretty much exclusively tackle, I believe, in college.
Let me simplify the point I'm trying to get is if you have a guy that has played guard for 3 years in college and is All-American, you don't draft him and then say, hey, you're going to play center this year. And it's like, he was a guard, right?
Yeah.
Usually, when we're talking about this, usually you draft him as an offensive tackle. That's kind of your intent. Now, if for some reason he parlays into an offensive guard and does really well, great, man. You hit the nail on the head. But I don't want to go out and draft a guy that's a tight end and expect him to play quarterback. I don't want to draft a defensive tackle and expect him to be an edge rusher. I don't want to draft an edge rusher and expect him to be a defensive tackle. You see what I'm saying? It's kind of stick to the core natural of their position when you're drafting. If for some reason during the development process that changes, fine, it happens. I get it. But draft based on their natural position.
Yeah, you know where those changes usually come? In college. When, they were big enough in high school to play a certain position, but then they get into the college ranks and they're too small, so we move them
Things
to tight
change.
end. Or,
he
comes in as a tight end, but he doesn't have enough beef for tight end, so we move him to wide receiver. Now, that's when the changes are made, is when you make that transition from high school to college. Because you don't have that big growth spurt anymore. You've maxed out, basically.
Your maturity level changes from the time you're 18 to the time you're 23. There's a huge, and it happens to every man, is their maturity level, their body, their physical composition, everything changes from the time they're 18 to the time they're 23.
What's up, SoCal?
So if I keep getting fat, this might means my maturity level is going up.
You done past 23 a long time. You're very mature. You're beyond you're beyond mature.
Yeah, I'm still an immature child at heart, though.
Yeah.
I just gotta ask Robert Diwali. He says, "I'm calling it now. It's Graham is our head coach." Are you talking Patrick Graham is our head coach? Because if it's Patrick, oh hell no.
Yeah, he said it twice in the
chat. No way, man. If that's the case, keep Pete Carroll. Good God.
No, I'd rather have Graham than Pete Carroll, but I don't want to.
I'm done with Graham. I'm done with him.
Get rid of the whole staff.
Yeah, I don't think Patrick Graham hangs on to a defensive coordinator position. I think he's going to be relegated back to a linebackers coach. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him go back to New England as a defensive assistant.
There's a world where Patrick Graham goes to college.
I don't care as long as it's not within the Raiders organization. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
I'm done with them.
There's also the fact that Patrick Graham keeps looking for a head coaching job, and we keep trying to do everything we can to keep him on our staff and not
Yeah,
give him
right.
not give him that head coaching job. I don't think he stays. I don't think he re-signs with us.
Fine with me. See ya.
Yeah, get rid of our
I
whole
don't want
coaching staff.
anybody left. That's when you go to the coaching staff and you look at the list on the website for the Raiders. Oh, I just don't like you, Bueno. When you look at the coaching staff on the website for the at Raiders.com, anybody that's on that page, for the most part, I want them all gone. That includes Deuce Gruden.
Yep, I was going to say the same thing. Take him with you.
The entire training office gone. I want them all gone.
Yeah.
I want everything brand spanking new. Even to the point of repainting the walls in all the offices. It's just I want it to smell new in there when the new coach comes in and goes, ooh, I like this. Everything's new. New desks, new chairs, new everything. Fuck it. I want the place gutted like it's a renovation, man. Like, flip this house. We're gonna flip this team. We're renovating everything.
Yeah. If you're going to rebuild, that you have to do it from the. I mean, even if you got to tear the concrete foundation up out of the ground and start with fresh dirt, so be it.
Fuck, start construction tomorrow. Build a whole brand new facility to tear that Intermountain Medical, whatever the hell that place is. Stop.
You think that's got bad? You think that's got bad juju?
I think so.
Go back to eating our meals out of a trailer.
Yeah.
No, JPJ played 1 year at center at Oregon, but he won the Remington Award for best center in the nation. And then we moved him to offensive guard. Okay, now about that, debatably the best offensive lineman in free agency, if the Ravens allow it, is their center. And he's proven for multiple years he's a very good center. We go get him. Guess what? JPJ is not going to be a center. He's going to be a guard.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if JPJ, by the time minicamp comes around, is the best center on our O-line, then he better be playing center. But he should have been playing center this year, but we can't be married to him staying at center. Mm-hmm. If there's somebody better than him at that position, they need to play there. JPJ is athletic and big enough to play both center and guard, and that's probably the biggest reason why they did that move, is just because of the looks of him and Meredith being undersized himself. So, yeah, JPJ at center would be great, but if we did get the Ravens center, that'd be even better. And then there's also the issue with JPJ being injury prone. He's been hurt 3 times in 2 years now.
Well, he has concussion issues going back to high school.
Yeah. So you want the heart of your offensive line to have that issue lingering around him?
Because remember, it's easier to put in a backup guard than it is for a center, too.
But it's also nice having somebody like JPJ that if we needed a backup center, he can fill in. So that's good. But I think he's a natural guard myself. I think he does better at guard than he does at center.
Well, I think he does better at left guard than he does right guard.
Well, yeah. But he also has the benefit of having Colton Miller right next to him, too. That helps. That helps a lot.
But he was already playing left guard last year before he made the move to center. And then now this year, he's splitting time between center and right guard. So how is he supposed to get comfortable at that right guard position? Like, if anything, they should have kept him at the left guard position and had Parham stay at right guard, because Parham had his best season at right guard last year. So the whole moving the line all around like they did was just dumb. First off, this season, JPJ should have been the center, hands down, flat out. Meredith was the best left guard on our roster this year, and he kind of proved that last year with his pass blocking. His run blocking is very suspect, but he's undersized. That's going to be an issue. And Parham had his best season at right guard last year. So it just made zero sense to go shuffle that all around. Like,
See,
those
I thought his first year at left guard was better than his last year at right guard.
Are we are we seriously talking about when Parham was actually good? Can we stop that right now? He's so bad.
we're
I don't
talking
think there
about
was ever a time that he was good. God, he's had good plays once in a while, but to say like good for this year at this, hell no, guy's a bum, man. I'm sorry.
His rookie year, he actually performed very well. His rookie year,
What?
he did very well his rookie year.
Oh, I thought you said this year. Sorry.
Oh, if you look at PFF, he was a great guard.
No, here
No.
we go. Somebody's people have said that to me before. Oh, he was ranked something or whatever. PFF.
Yeah.
That PFF can go out the window. I don't trust that thing. The proof's in the pudding when you watch it. I'm sorry.
Because Roy, JPJ plays both guard and center naturally.
Yeah, he's a natural guard.
It's what he played. The first 3 years in college, he was a guard.
He was a guard. That's his natural position. And I think that's what the Raiders drafted him as, is a natural guard.
Well, we don't know that because the front office that drafted him wasn't the ones here this year.
I think he had to play center at a necessity.
He pretty much
Because even when we had what's his name, it was Andre James. It wasn't until he got hurt that JPJ went into center. Yeah. And then when Andre James came back, he went back to center and JPJ went back to guard.
Well, Roy, you're dead wrong on that one because if he was drafted as center, why did he start at guard when he first started playing last year?
He was drafted as a guard.
Yeah.
If you look up his card when they put it, he was drafted as a guard out of Oregon.
Plays center 1 year and is finally healthy and the best at it, but we move him back to center. I think he meant back to guard. Look, I get the frustration of moving him to guard this year because we didn't have a better center on the roster. He should have been the center, hands down. There's no argument there.
Yeah.
I'm just saying with the possible free agents out there, it may be he ends up being a guard plus his injury history. It may be you don't want him at center because of the injury history. That center is a very important position on that offensive line. I'm not bueno. He was drafted as a guard. There was a report that he forced AP to move him to center. Yeah, that's accurate. Because JPJ was even bragging about it, I think, on Max Crosby's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I just noticed his avatar. It's Tyree with 2 wrestling belts over his shoulders.
Tyree might have a better WWE career than NFL one.
Oh, did you see him ball out today, though, man?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Oh, my God, man. He was awesome today.
Yeah, he destroyed that practice squad tackle.
Dude, he's on his way to the Hall of Fame with that performance.
He scored the team 2 points. He alone got us 2 points. That's all.
He was a game wrecker, man. You should have saw it. I mean,
why is Max Crosby playing that position? They need to put Tyree there.
They got to put Tyree in there, man. That's just stupid playing Max Crosby.
Trade Max Crosby now. We got Tyree there now.
Yeah.
Oh, Pittsburgh just scored. It's now 19-17. With 3 minutes, 49 seconds to go in the fourth quarter.
Also,
it'll be 20-17 in a minute. So,
part of me wants JPJ to stay at guard because there's 3 centers that I like so much in this draft. So, I'm kind of biased on that part. I mean, I don't think you can miss with a selection between Jake Slaughter, Connor Liu, and who's Iowa's center? The All-American.
So, something that I want to bring up here. Where I was right and where I was wrong. Mm-hmm. And we're going to go back to the beginning of the season, all the way before the draft. And I know Duncan, I saw some of his takes in the Discord, but he wasn't with the 401 Raider Jeff podcast productions yet. So, Duncan, going back on the season and what your predictions were, I want to know where you were right and where you were wrong.
Before all the shenanigans were happening on the offensive line,
And I'll be right back.
I
sorry,
was saying
and
that I
run.
think we could get an 8-win season and have a bunch of close fought games where we might be able to scrape up 2 more wins and possibly get to 10 wins. And then along those lines, I was saying that, hey, we got Kansas City at home the last game of the year. Wouldn't it be awesome if we were both fighting to get into the playoffs and we won that game to get in and kick Kansas City out? So those were my predictions. We did beat Kansas City, but
Yeah, you were close. I mean, it still mattered for something
that
today.
right, I guess. But yeah,
Just didn't matter for playoffs. It mattered for the draft. So what did he ask you? Where you were right or where you were wrong?
So where I was
right?
was we beat Kansas City. Where I was wrong, we only ended up with 3 wins. So I was off by 5 to 7 wins. Also, I wasn't thinking that JPJ was going to be the right guard and barely the right guard, because you got to remember he was competing for the center position and then he was competing with Kappa for the right guard position.
Blows my mind.
Yeah. After that, really, I was just predicting the record, and I was way off. And I think a lot of us were. I think a lot of the more down-to-earth fans were probably thinking like 5-6 wins, and they were still way off. So, yeah. But no, I was way off. And thinking back on it, I was in the Discord that Jason mentioned. I was one of the people that was fairly against Pete Carroll before we actually hired him. I didn't want him because I didn't see a long-term future with him. And to me, the whole point of hiring Pete Carroll was to change the culture. And it doesn't make sense if you want to change the culture with a old coach that's not going to be here longer than 3 or 4 years. Like, okay, you just get the culture fix and then now you're gone and we bring in a new head coach, and now what? They're going to change the culture to how they want it. It just didn't make sense. On top of that, I'm also really big on the offensive line, and Pete Carroll is notoriously bad with building an offensive line. Mm-hmm. His Seattle offensive lines were really rough.
Geez, were you wrong at all? Because you're pretty much saying everything that you were right on. You haven't stopped the whole time Jason was gone. Damn.
Well, the problem is,
gonna be short.
As it kept going, I kept buying in, and I believed we would get 8 to 10 wins. So ultimately, I was wrong.
No. All right, Jeff, I know where you were wrong, but go ahead.
Where I was wrong or where I was right?
Where were you right?
Where was I right? That we didn't draft the offensive line sooner in the draft to have an impact with this team. Hence, which is why I didn't want a running back at number 6, because we didn't do anything with the offensive line in free agency other than Kappa, who, when we got him, the first news that came out about him was he's the worst offensive guard in rankings in the league last year in 2024. Oh, so that's what we bring in to help the offensive line, and now we're going to seriously consider going and drafting a running back at number 6. Bad move. And granted, yes, Genty had a good year, but the offensive line was horrible. So I will give myself a pat on the back for where I was right there. Where else was I right? I don't think I had a good track record on being right. The only I did say that Brock Bowers was not going to have the same year, which I think everybody could have said that, is not going to have the same year as he did his rookie year. The only thing I wanted to see him do was have at least 10 touchdowns instead of 4. I said, if he has 10 touchdowns, I think that's a step in the right direction, but expect him to have less receptions and less yardage. But I want him to be more of an impact in the red zone area, which he definitely was. So he did prove that part at least. He got more touchdowns. He got injured during the season, but it is what it is. He still, even if he didn't get injured, he still wouldn't have been even close to catches and yardage that he had last year. That was nobody knew about him enough,
No.
But the touchdowns, I knew they would come, and
Yeah.
I'm happy that he got 10 this year. God, good for him, man. He deserved it, and he still got a Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
One more
And-
thing
and
I
for
would
the-
add on
Go ahead.
was I wanted Porter and Thornton, and we drafted both of them. So
I like Porter coming out of Iowa State. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was glad we drafted him.
I still
Porter,
like him, but
Porter, I think, was too much of a one-trick pony. But I mean,
I
we
think
saw
coach is
we
fair.
saw today. He's got work to do. He's got a lot of work to do in the off season. All right, Rennie Travis. I think we were celebrating. Okay, right versus wrong. I still feel like I'm right that we shouldn't have drafted a running back at 6. I agree with you on that. I think we all agree that we shouldn't have drafted a running back at 6. But I like Genty. I do like Genty. I just don't think he was worth the number 6 pick. I really don't. Hopefully next year, he's worth it. Where I was right on my end was I knew my prediction was Max was going to get more than 10 quarterback sacks this year, 10 or more. The same with Bowers getting 10 or more touchdowns. I knew his receptions were going to drop off. They usually do. Yardage, and they usually do the second year, especially after you perform the way you did last year. Defenses are really going to gear down on you, especially if we don't have an outside receiver that can take a little bit of pressure off of him, So where I was right, where I was wrong was number one. I predicted we would be 6 to 8 wins, just with the coaching staff alone. Same roster, but coaching staff alone. Plus, we had a schedule that really lined up for us that we should have won 6 games. Still today, I think we should have won 6 games.
Wait a minute. Hold on. You asked where we were right or wrong prior to the draft.
Throughout the year.
No, you said prior to the draft. Because
I said,
and I've got a lot that I can add to my list.
well, I'm talking about
thinking just
your
before
predictions
the
of the
draft.
team prior to the draft, because we already had Spytek, we had Pete Carroll, right? We had our free agency. We went out and got Geno Smith, which I actually thought that was a good move.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
wrong. Yeah, I haven't done that one.
I was wrong on that.
I only get my rights.
I was wrong on Pete Carroll because I was really high on getting Pete Carroll, and even though he's older, I thought the plan or the quote unquote process was going to be he was going to stabilize the franchise, start nurturing some of these assistant coaches to where he can ride off into the sunset and that franchise be in the right position. What are you laughing at? Did you get kicked out of class every time you were in school?
No, I just find it funny how you were explaining it. How he's going to develop these guys, the coaches.
Well, what I'm talking about is bringing the right coaches, the right coaching staff, all that stuff. I really felt that he was going to do that.
Oh,
I was absolutely, I was absolutely wrong.
You.
I was absolutely wrong with that.
Well, we found out how disastrous his coaching search went when it was rumored we were going to pay Saleh to be the highest paid defensive coordinator in the league, and then we go and re-sign Graham.
Yeah.
So not only did we not want Graham, but we ended up paying him and bringing him back anyways.
Yeah. Graham was actually striking out with other teams too, which is should have kind of been a red flag.
He was interviewing for head coaching spots.
Yeah.
And then the Jags actually wanted him as their defensive coordinator.
Yes, and that's why we jumped on him signing him, because we felt that he was going to escape us going to Jacksonville.
Gee, should have let him go.
Hindsight's 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I'm going to have to get out of here somewhat soon. I got to hit the hay because I got work in the morning.
Yeah.
So, final thoughts on the closing of the season so we can put the last patch of dirt on its grave.
Ultimate disaster. Piss poor plan, piss poor execution of the plan, and whatever process that they were thinking of, it wasn't working. Wasn't working. Scrap that and start over.
Yep. You, Jeff?
Final thoughts. Thank God it's over.
Okay.
I'm just glad the season is done now at this point. Let's try this layout. Yeah, that's a little better. I'm just glad it's over. It's been, I swear to God, it felt like it was a 20 to 30 game season.
It was long.
Oh, my God. And Pittsburgh just scored. I'm happy. I'm happy that it's finally past us now. Now the next big news is let's find out what's going on with the coaching staff. And batten down the hatches, baby, because it's going to be a busy offseason. There's going to be a lot of talk going on as far as what we're going to do, what we think the team should do, what the chat thinks the team should do, and what the experts think, and what we're going to have for rebuttal for it, and then what the team actually does.
Yeah.
And then everything that's associated with us responding to what they do. So be ready.
Yep.
It'll be fun.
I just hope we wake up to seeing the coaching staff has been fired.
God.
All the Seahawks have been let go. Get clean house. But yeah.
Anyway, Jeff, what do you got going on this week, Jeff? You want to let the chat know?
I don't have anything planned for tomorrow as of right now. But if news drops, that's why I put your notifications on. I will be going live. I will be on Tuesday night with the Most Notorious crew, myself, Leo, James, and Raider Will. Wednesday night, the Raider Connection is finally back after the last 2 or 3 weeks. We've been on hiatus because of the holidays. So we will be back in full force, all four of us, myself, Nate, Jay, Leo. Thursday night with Nate on Raiders Coast to Coast. And Friday night, episode number 2 of the No Huddle. So if you guys know anybody that's a fan of another team in the NFL other than the Raiders, and you want to have them come on and give their take on their team and rep and support their team, send them to my channel. Friday night, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock Pacific. I'll bring them on the screen. It'll just be myself and them, whoever it is from whatever team. No huddle, baby. No timeouts, no excuses.
Yeah, your first episode was quite nice. It was nice.
Yeah, it was fun. It was different being on the screen by myself, talking just one-on-one with another fan that normally doesn't get on the screen, you know? So that was fun. I liked it.
Yeah, and no homers either, which is what I like. I like a fan from another team that is open. You know, that's why Marcus Banks is one of our favorite.
Yeah, that's why I want to get Marcus on. But I had Joseph Parra came on at the start. We talked for a good 20 minutes, and then he jumped off, and I had Randy N come on. So.
Yep. And then
Duncan, it's funny looking at your picture right now, because the way you are on the screen that I'm looking at, it really looks like you. Yeah, like you're standing there literally like this right now. See it? It's like he's lined up perfect. Yeah,
perfect with his shoulders on the backdrop. Yeah. Yeah. So for us, Raider Nation, show me your shield on our channel here. Subscribe to our channel at Raiders First Downs, at Dunkin' Donuts Dunkin' Raiders. Man, I keep screwing it up, don't I? Donuts Dunkin'. You both of you guys, knock it off. Donuts Dunkin' Raiders. Subscribe to our channel. Hit the like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. So when we go live on Tuesdays, 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern time. We will wrap up. We'll have another show this week. We'll kind of wrap up. Hopefully we got some other topics to talk about. Like, we don't have a head coach no more. Now what?
Or
Um,
have a head coach. What is going on?
but you know how the Raiders operate. It could be 2-3 weeks down the road he gets fired.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just like let me sleep on it a couple nights and think about it type bullshit.
They definitely go
Should have
to
been
the beat of their own drum.
Yes. Yes. And the way our hierarchy is right now with, the God bless it, Tom Brady, our owner, is doing his Fox thing, and it's whatever Tom says. Well, Tom needs to shit or get off the pot. Either be an owner or executive or go play color analyst and just be a silent partner.
As
Leave it.
far as
Leave it.
Tom Brady's ownership goes, I think you guys should go watch the documentary on his soccer team. It's about Birmingham City. I understand it's a completely different sport, but ownership is ownership, and it pretty much goes around the same way. And I think it shows some insight on his thinking on running a team.
Good or bad?
Personally, I think it's bad.
Yeah.
But it's also, you do got to take it with a little bit of grain of salt because it is for entertainment. But I don't know. Like, he has some good points on it. And then on the other hand, it seems like he's kind of flippant. So
Is he on the FX show channel just like Welcome to Wrexham? Because that's a great show. If you've never seen Welcome to Wrexham, that's a
really
great
good.
one.
Yeah,
that's really good.
It's similar to Welcome to Wrexham. I'd say it's more dramatized and less comedy. Because Welcome to Wrexham's more lighthearted, where Tom Brady's not naturally lighthearted like they are. But it also has
more of a rigid prick.
With that other owner that bought in with Tom Brady that a lot of people are not liking, supposedly behind the scenes.
Who is it?
I cannot remember his name right now, but he runs this big conglomerate where they go and buy failed businesses just to make them successful. And they've been doing that with sports teams. So the Birmingham soccer team was like the biggest one they did at the time. And now I think they're kind of doing it with the Raiders. But
Anyway,
I do recommend going and checking that out, and it's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
So if you got Prime, just go check it out.
Yep. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, 401_Raider_Jeff YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to his channel, get over and subscribe, which pretty sure it's happening because he's the superstar. And then myself and Donuts Duncan, we run our show on Tuesday nights. And then you'll see us here and there with Jeff as needed at different shows. And who knows, maybe a pop-up happens with some significant thing, and we might join him when it happens. Who knows? It's up to the boss. He can decide when we come on. But I've had a great time tonight with all you guys. Raider Pete, Frank Weber. Well, I missed it.
It was 4th and 7. You're watching this, right, Duncan?
No, I'm not, because I'm
It
trying
was
to go to
4th
bed,
and
so I don't wanna
7
watch the hype game.
with 20 seconds to go. Pittsburgh's up 26-24. They missed the PAT, so that's how they ended up with 26 instead of 27. Lamar Jackson on 4th and 7 just threw a deep pass to Isaiah Likely from their own 40-yard line.
They're in field goal position.
Yes, they are. He took it all the way down to like the 30 or 25.
If the Steelers lose, Tomlin gets fired.
That's why I'm kind of wanted to watch how this was going to turn out tonight.
And I really hope we don't hire Tomlin.
I don't either.
No.
I'm really not. I was kind of at first, but now
He would be good in Atlanta. Let him go to Atlanta.
Yeah, he's got a hell of a running game down there.
Yep. Let him go to Atlanta.
So we're down to 15 seconds.
So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate all you guys coming in. Raider Pete, Frank Weber, I'm Not Bueno, Raider Travis, thank you so much for coming in. Alan Dukes Jr., we appreciate it. Lord Rochitas, one of our old OGs, thank you for coming in. Anyways, thank you guys. Good night and God bless from the 401 Raider Jeff podcast program.
Stay safe, go Raiders. Thanks for having me on tonight, guys. I appreciate it. This was fun.
Cold open, counted out. Yeah, we heard the talk. Cold nights and long losses, still we walk. Scoreboard hurt, but the heart stayed real. Still wear the black, still flash the shield. From Oakland roots to Vegas dust, pain in the season, but we still trust. They say it's over, I say move